This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Atwater Village Theater for the Open Fist production of The Gary Plays. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Guy Zimmerman. I directed Tirade for Three and Girl in a Bed, The Gary Plays.
What drew you to this piece?
I've been involved with this work for a long time. So I directed the first version of Tirade for Three in 1999. So I've been with it ever since, and it's very beautifully written, innovative, poetic drama.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, first of all, I thought it touched spirituality, it touched philosophy, metaphysics. It was a bit nihilistic, and also it's very relevant to modern day kids right now.
I agree. I mean, one of the things is, as we've done these plays over the years, they at first seemed very dark, but unfortunately for us, the world has sort of caught up to them. So they now just seem like they fit exactly with what's going on, and it's just intriguing to be involved over the course of 17 years now, basically.
I've noticed about the characters. They all nailed their characters. So the actors, they all nailed their characters. First of all, what do you look for in your casting?
It really is. What I look for most is an ear for what's happening in the language, especially with this kind of poetic drama. It's really important if you can see that somebody is moved by the language as they're speaking it, and they can hear it. That's really the best sign.
Yeah. Again, usually when I always ask directors questions, I always ask them about the story, and I always ask them about the casting. The story I thought was fantastic. Again, very intellectual, very philosophical. You don't see that everywhere. And also the casting, I thought casting was fantastic. Every single actor just nailed their characters. So obviously, I just love this piece.
That's great. And the thing that's remarkable is, if you come back and see the other four plays, each one of them is completely different on a formal level, and innovative and unique, and I'm just, it's just so astonishing to see them all together, and they're about the same characters, but they're told in very different ways, so you don't get bored. You come back on see part 3 and part 4, you're not going to see Girl on a Bed. It's going to be Girl on a Bed is sort of this gritty noir kind of thing. Gary's Walk is much more lyrical and poetic. And then you hit Out of the Blue, which is really like this fantastic vaudeville. I mean, suddenly you're in Marx Brothers land, kind of. Only it still has that metaphysical heft to it. It has these metaphysical and philosophical moments. So it's just remarkable. It's just remarkable work, and I'm so happy to be doing it with such a great cast, and the designers are so strong. The sound, lights, and video projections, just awesome stuff. Costume designs also. So I'm very happy. I feel very fortunate to be involved in this. Yeah. Excellent.
Again, obviously with the Fringe Festival and all, you see a lot of plays that are, like a series and all that. But again, that means this would be like, let's say 4 plays. It would be like 8 hours long if someone sat through the whole thing.
It's like about 7 hours. On Sunday, you can come for about 7 hours, and I sort of was wondering how that would feel. But we did it last Sunday, and I was watching it. I mean, it's actually a really intriguing evening. It's not even an evening; it's a whole day event. But you enter that world, and it's you don't want to leave, really. And it's a very interesting thing. It's a surprise to me. I thought, it's going to be too intense for people, but I don't think it is, because there is all that variety in it, and you get the same characters in this big story arc. But it's so innovative and surprising that you don't get bored, and you don't feel like it's dragging on. Really, I was really interested.
Yeah. Once again, I really love the piece tonight. I wish I could see the whole thing, but I'm not sure if I got 8 hours of time.
I hope you can come back, at least for another section. But maybe you got 4 weeks.
Okay. Well, I hope my viewers come by and see this thing.
All right. Thank you so much. Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show.
All right. Take care now.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Murray Mednick. I'm the playwright of these 2 plays that you just saw.
The Gary Plays?
Yes.
So, question: why did you decide to write this piece?
I didn't decide to write it. I just wrote it.
Well, what inspired you? I mean, what made you do it?
It's just things that I know that came out of me as I was writing.
Yeah, I noticed it was very well. A bit of it was existentialist, where you're trying to.
There are existential ideas in it, but those aren't the only ideas.
Yeah, some of it was spiritual. There was talk about religion.
I think Gary as a character and the people that he knows have an interest in, like a lot of us, have an interest in these different traditions, including existentialism, and Buddhism and Christianity, all religions.
Yeah, but also kind of like the world system where things are are fake, or they're phony, or they're not really genuine.
Often that's true, don't you think?
I do agree. Yeah, actually, I thought the piece as a whole covered a lot. Again, it covered existential philosophy, a bit of metaphysics too, whether existence is relevant or not. It appealed to a younger millennial's age where they felt things were phony, where things were just trying to find things. An older person probably wouldn't.
There's a lot of young people right now, as we speak, who are shooting up and dying. Right now. It's nothing I made up.
Very tragic also, again, with the drug scene.
Very tragic.
Yeah, with, I guess, people just trying to find themselves and also, medicating themselves.
Yeah, don't you think that happens?
Yeah, I think it was. Actually, again, I really enjoyed the play. I thought it was very deep, waves of emotion, and actually, again, it was a very entertaining piece. Well, entertaining in the sense that it sobered you up a lot.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, once again, I really enjoyed myself tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with?
Yes, I'm Daryl Larson. I play the final Gary in the Gary plays. See it on a Sunday, all 6 plays at once. That's the best way to experience this. It's some of the best poetic theater you will ever see. So do it.
So what do you think of the performance tonight?
I love the performance tonight. I thought it's a gorgeous production, and the actors are just as good as they can be they really understand these parts. Many of these people have been working on these things for a couple of years, and developing it and shaping it to their own talents. And yet Murray is consistently, to me, one of the finest writers of the last 40 years. I've worked with him since 1977 myself, and it's a real thrill to be able to come back and be in it again and be back in his world. So I'm excited.
I was really mesmerized by the piece. It was so dark, but also very realistic. It was very philosophical, very spiritual, very political, very nihilistic. It is covers so much.
It is, and yet it is hopeful. It's very much a play about how to be more human, how to help each other instead of tear each other down, how to grieve, how to take action politically and spiritually. And I was saying to him, actually, the plays are a sort of perfect combination of vaudeville, and of philosophical discussion and spiritual discussion, and a sort of street level of what it is to be, certainly in LA, but to be a human being at all. It's very, as you say, it's very naturalistic, and yet it's very formal, and there's gestures. You make that gesture in a ritual way. So it's that ritual thing that we really do need. You don't get it anywhere else but in theater, and I don't think you get it better than this theater, this company particularly. Yeah, I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you dug it.
Well, I'm glad I was here also. I really enjoyed myself.
I'm so glad. Get the word out. I really appreciate it.
Sure, yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Laura Ligori. I'm playing the role of Laura in the Gary Play series by Murray Mednick, and I also play the role of Angela, which she comes in the last play of the show. she was disgusted with the state of the world, and instead of a normal suicide, she chose to go out in a different way, and that way was with heroin and porn in response to being disgusted at the political climate of the world, the greed of human beings, mass production, commercials, and all of that.
Usually when I hear someone say something that, like saying, well, I really don't like the world, I think the world is phony, disgusting, usually a person commits suicide not for that. Usually it's something inside themselves that's either empty, missing, or just some denial or some kind of conflict themselves. What do you think of her? Was she kind of a broken person? Was she in denial? What are your thoughts on her?
My thoughts, it actually was really painful to play tonight. She is a mixture of the Virgin Mary and Sharon Stone's character in Basic Instinct, meaning there is a sociopathic quality to her, which you see. And the more she gets into drugs, the more she shuts down that consciousness that we all have, and that I think happens to people who are addicted to drugs. I know that suicide is the second largest cause of death for people 35 and under, including children. So it's a huge issue. So I'm not sure what happens that people get to that point where they decide that that's it, but I know that the world, especially right now, is in a place where we're not listening to our social conscience, especially in our political situation. And when you focus on things like mass production, big business, more money, the rich get richer, what happens is we're going to see more suicide. We're going to see more unhappiness, feeling more isolated. So that's why she, even though she's young, she's smart enough to realize that it just doesn't fit, and this earth is just not where she wants to be. So she's not a victim of herself. She's kind of saying, I'm just choosing out.
I loved your performance. I thought it was very riveting.
Thank you.
Thought it really really captivated me, and I felt the character. It was so realistic. I could feel as she was some kind of high school, some kind of college student who was basically just lost, just couldn't find herself.
Yes, I mean, when you come from a family where there's abuse, it's very hard for children to find a sense of themselves and find a way to fit into the world. And her mother was an alcoholic. Her father was, more of an Al-Anon figure in that. And they were pretty corrupt. And unfortunately, they weren't able to give her the love she needed to be able to overcome whatever was happening inside her, which we see all of the time. At this time right now, 30,000 kids are in the foster care system in LA alone. 30,000, and it's horrible because when you're so young and you're trying to form opinions and you're trying to find out who you are, you have no one, or if you have someone, they're like the devil incarnate. Where are you supposed to end up? So it's tough.
I've actually heard some statistics that if you're in foster care, there's an 80% chance that you'll be homeless. 80%. That's just shocking.
Yes, I actually am a child advocate of the court. I do that for a volunteer. I just became an advocate, and out of the 30,000 kids, only 1,000 get an advocate. So we're dealing with children that are in very, very dire situations. My current case I can't discuss, but it's one of the most difficult situations I've ever had to witness in my life. And one of the most, I don't even know how to say it. All I know is that even though the case that I have is incredibly dark, the one thing I know is the more compassion and love I show, the more there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. So regarding children, even if they have no one, there are people that can make a difference in doing exactly what I'm doing by becoming an advocate.
Okay. Once again, I just loved your performance.
Thank
I thought
you.
you were fantastic.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the show too. I thought it was riveting. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, we got off of the show, but it was important.
Yes, it was important. And actually, again, it was a good reflection of your character because I can see where it came from. Because
Yes, you can see.
An actor's life.
Yeah.
An actor's life actually adds so much to
Yes, yes.
to them, to their parts.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thank you. Thank you
yeah.
for coming.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I really enjoyed the show. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Peggy Blow. I just got back from Miami. I'm in the middle of shooting American Crime Story Versace, and opening this show we're running for another 4 weeks, and life is extremely good right now.
Okay. And which character did you play?
And for Gary, play Antonio, Mrs. Williams, Chauncey. Who else? Who else am I, Murray? Roulet. So yeah, I'm fortunate. A couple of the other actors get to do different aspects, but I think I'm telling the truth here when I'm the only actor that I do 4 distinct different characters. So that's always fun doing character work like that.
I loved your portrayal of Antonio.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Antonio, in my mind, is Sip. He's the boatman on the River Styx. When one decides, or when the time comes for one to make that journey, Antonio shows up to take you across. And with Gary, it's a very special kind of journey in that there's something about Gary that keeps Antonio hanging around because this man is vacillating. I mean, the grief is palpable, not only to him, but those around him. And Antonio picks up on that. And the character has compassion because we have to remember his title is the Angel of Death. He's an angel. So he has compassion. He knows mercy. And he's giving this to Gary. So that this man, with all these voices in his head and going through the grief that he's going through, discovers some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. And it's Antonio that directs him to it.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
An anachronism, a brilliant anachronism, and a brilliant piece of theater. That's what's so joyful about doing this piece. It will always be relevant.
I really thought it fascinating. First of all, it was so deep. It talked about religion. It talked about metaphysics. It talked about spirituality. It talked about, again, also what millennials think of this world. I mean, is it worth it? I mean, is it all just messed up? I mean, what's my purpose in life? Things like that.
Well, I think every generation goes through that. I don't think that's exclusive to millennials. I think every human being that comes on this planet suffers that same angst, whether they do it singularly or if they do it in a group, But yeah, I believe that's just the human condition. And that's what makes this piece so good. It addresses the human condition at its basis level, at its purest form with nothing on it. And everybody should see this. My gosh, if everybody could see this, I think they might have a little more clarity about what it is to be a human being.
I especially loved your performances. I mean, 4 distinct characters.
Thank you.
I love the darkness you portrayed. I love the light you portrayed.
Thank you.
And I just enjoyed the piece as a whole.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming. Nice speaking with you.
Nice speaking with you. Thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure. See you again.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with?
I'm Philip Curry. I've been an actor for, almost 55 years. Started out doing community theater back in Michigan, then went off to UMass Amherst, did shows there, then moved to New York and moved around the country doing shows, and ended up in Los Angeles.
Great. And which character did you play?
Rondell. Rondell is sort of, I put words in Murray's mouth, but he's sort of the Tiresias in this play, because he's the sayer of sooth. He's the man who speaks truth to whoever, doesn't care.
I looked at him. Well, I didn't really look at him as a bad guy because he seemed to be almost like a soldier type guy, very rock solid, very dark, very stoic, but not really evil. He's just kind of a fixture of the system.
Yeah, he is that which is immutable. I mean, he speaks truth, and it doesn't matter whether that truth is in your favor or against you. He's not going to change it. So, in that sense, he's not a bad guy. He's certainly not a good guy, but he speaks it. And when he says it, you know that Rondell says the truth.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They're going to see grit, they're going to see poetry, and they're going to see slice of life. I mean, this is Los Angeles. This is Los Angeles. I don't think there's any question about that.
I really enjoyed the piece. First of all, it was very intellectual. I mean, it was very philosophical, metaphysics. It talked a lot about existency and, you know, is there purpose in life? I mean, is there true religion? Is there spirituality? So again, that's a pretty meaty topic again for a play.
Absolutely, but at the same time, when you're listening to those people talk, did you have any doubt that they were people that you've seen and heard? I mean, the words that come out of our mouths, those are the words that you've heard people say in all kinds of in extremis situations. When Laura talks about her parents and the fact that relationship is so fraught, there's just no question that there are kids every day who deal with that. When Danny is talking with his dad, and his dad can't hear the fact that, no, Rondell agrees with you, Dad. He says I shouldn't do drugs. But Gary can't hear it. It's exactly what people do. They talk past each other. So, yeah.
I really enjoyed the piece. I thought it was riveting. I was mesmerized. I was pulled intellectually, and also, again, I like the dark characters. I just thought it was a wonderful piece.
Thank you. And we're very proud of it, and Murray's a hell of a writer. We're just very pleased to be doing these words.
Once again, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much, and I really enjoyed your part. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
And I'm Carl Johnson. I play Charles in the Gary plays. I do a lot of theater in LA. On TV, I played a crazy mailman on Z Nation. And I love the Gary plays. I love playing Charles. It just makes me very happy. Charles is stunted by fear, and fear of not being good enough. He's sort of been ground down and doesn't have a very high self-esteem. And through the course of the play, he finally does what he needs to do in order to prove himself a man.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
It's unexpected. It's unexpected theater. So I don't know if you come in with expectations. Come just expecting to see theater and writing and characters, and just go with it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this piece. It was so deep and so philosophical. It dealt with so many dark shadows in a person's life, and it was very, very relevant to life.
Very relevant. Very relevant. When she talks about how, and it's all about me, and you project it, it's all about me, it always makes me think of Donald Trump.
Not only the kids would enjoy it, because again, it's a bit of a millennial thing, but adults would do it. Married people would experience something from it, and people would just kind of a little tired with, you know, the humdrum monotony and total aimlessness of life.
Yeah, definitely. It is about that alienation in families and things, and the consequences of that.
Yeah. I really enjoyed your performance. I enjoyed the performance as a whole. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Barbara Schofield. I've been a member of Open Fist for 9 or 10 years. I'm an actor, I'm on staff, and I'm also a director. I've directed several shows there. And I've been working on the Gary plays for the last year and a half on this character, on Monica. I've been, I teach acting, and I've also worked in New York and Europe and thereabouts, but I've been in Los Angeles now since about 1997, doing theater here. And loving it. Love the LA theater community. It's fabulous. It's a great, great community. I loved being in New York as well, but this is California, and California is its own thing, right? And it's one of the things I love about these plays, is there's so much about Los Angeles. And if you live in Southern California and you really understand the culture here and you come and see these plays, it speaks to you about the whole culture, this thing in the 21st century of living in Southern California on the edge of we don't know what. They're really profound plays, and I think if you live in California, you should come and see these plays because they're really deeply about Southern California. And it's been an honor to work on this material, which is smart and funny and sad and true and profoundly beautiful. That's what I think. I play a character named Monica, and Monica is a really fabulous, larger-than-life character. She's sort of very controlling. She has her own sort of addiction issues, 21st century addiction issues. But she's a child of the 60s who has been sort of very disappointed by where the country has gone and the culture has gone, and she sort of unfortunately takes it out on her family. And she's very dynamic, and she's very... she's full of and vinegar, as they say, right? But she's a tragic character in some ways, but she doesn't see herself that way. She doesn't see herself that way at all. So.
I love the piece. I thought it was fantastic. I love the darkness in it. I love the realistness in it. I love the philosophy in it. I love the nihilism in it. I even love the spirituality part of it.
Well, the wonderful thing about Murray's work is all those things are there, but it's not depressing. It's just stimulating because it's so smart and so perceptive and so beautiful and truthful. And every second you're hearing something and you're thinking, oh my God, that's so true. And he says it in these ways that you've never heard it said before, and yet you recognize it when you hear it. So working on it as an actor is great, but also seeing it as an audience member, you think, I should be really depressed right now, and I'm really just stimulated as hell, and I want to talk about this work. He's a great American playwright and really should have all of his work being produced all the time. You know, he just is profound. He's really profound. And there's so much out there that is a lot less than profound. When you get the opportunity to do something that is profound, but is also highly entertaining and fun and stimulating, I don't know, his work just sort of fits you like a glove when you're watching it, you know? You don't feel like you're being lectured to at all. You just are inhabiting the world he's created. So it's great.
Yeah. Once again, I really enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed your part too. I thought you were fantastic.
Thank you so much.
You played it perfectly. Yeah. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Derek Manson. I live in LA. I'm an Open Fist Theater company member, and I've been in LA for 5 years doing a lot of stage and short film and voiceover work. I am a variety of characters, most prominently the male chorus, Dr. Jones, and John Shirley in the final part of the cycle that we're performing.
If my viewers decide to come and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
And a very exciting cycle of experimental work that truly is expansive. It's mind expanding in its breadth, and also it's also an LA story. It's a story that's very intrinsic to Los Angeles and sort of the existential crisis that performers and other Angelenos possibly might find themselves going through at certain times in their own life out here.
I really enjoyed it. I thought the piece was mesmerizing, but also I felt it was dark, but also it was actually very realistic. It was actually it dealt with very relevant issues.
Absolutely. I think this piece gives voices to Angelenos that we don't often hear their stories. And these are characters who are intelligent, have dreams, needs, love, and wind up under one circumstance or another realizing, the tragedy can strike and dark times can fall upon any of us in a way, especially in sort of the dream factory that is Los Angeles. If we get if we get lost on our path, strange things can occur. And I think this piece, one of the many things this piece does, is sort of give voice to those people who sort of move through their LA lives, go through a journey in LA that is often surprising and maybe sometimes tragic.
I really enjoyed your performance. I love the meter you guys had. It was almost like a song and dance.
Oh yeah.
And I love your stage presence, because again, not that much happened. I mean, you know, in the sense of well, I guess there was shooting and all that.
Right.
But
sure.
yeah. But you know what I mean. Basically,
Absolutely.
you had a command of stage. You actually communicated to the audience, connected with the audience, and you actually performed very well.
Thank you. No, these are language plays, and in many ways, what we are doing in terms of our presentation and our staging is really making sure that the words land. I mean, when I first auditioned for this almost 2 years ago now, it's maybe like a year and I don't know, like 9 or 10 months. I'm not exactly sure now because we've been involved in it for so long now. But when I first auditioned, you know, Murray was there, and after I'd read the script, I went into the audition and we were chatting about what I thought about it. I'm like, you know, it's like jazz. This is like jazz. And we have an ensemble of performers who have their own instrument, and sometimes the drums take it, you know, sometimes it goes to the clarinet. We're not exactly sure always where the narrative is going to go, but everyone has their lines, has their character, has their instrument. They take the ball and, you know, they just go with it, and it really does become something that is language-based, language-driven, and is very musical. I mean, all of us have really sort of scored what we do, scored our lines, you know, like discovered what we think the musicality of the poetry is. Because, yes, Murray is quite the poet, of course, and I think a lot of that is obvious when you see a play like this. I mean, if you are a lover of language and a lover of, you know, sort of dramatic poetry, like Murray is your guy. He's been doing it now for like 40-some plus years, right? New York and now here with Padua Playwrights. It's like he's got a legendary status with the work he does, and yeah, we're very excited to be blessed to sort of live in that world of language for the next several weeks. It's a heady space, and it's also good too that we've had so much rehearsal time, because you know, these are difficult plays to get off book for, because there's just so much there. It's so rich. It's almost Shakespearean in sort of like the approach you have to take to get ready for it. Yeah.
Once again, I really enjoyed it. I could see that you guys were just masters. You just nailed your parts.
That's very kind.
Yeah.
That's very kind.
Yeah. So once again, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Amanda Wire. I am in the Gary Plays. I've been a member of Open Fist for going on 12 years now, and we're having a super good time. I am chorus, and the chorus characters play 3 or 4 different rotating characters, including one of the ex-wives, Marcia, and basically Marcia's the probably most memorable of them.
So if my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I think they should expect to see some really oddly timely, edgy, dark theater that is funny and also heartbreaking and also haunting and scary.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was very mesmerizing. It was very philosophical, so it was very intellectual, and also was very relevant to the times.
Yeah, it's interesting. Murray wrote these plays a while ago, and it feels like the times were catching up to the plays, which is disconcerting on one level, but if you watch the full cycle, perhaps there's cause for hope.
Okay. Once again, I really enjoyed myself. I thought everyone was fantastic. I thought you guys were fantastic too. I actually especially liked your timing, your meter, your rhythm, your stage presence, because again, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of sets or a whole lot of scenery to this thing. So again, it was actually the actors who actually did everything.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. We're having a really nice time as an ensemble, and we're getting to kind of listen and play a little bit. So, yeah, it's non-linear work, which means the actors get to do a lot and have to do a lot.
Once again, I really enjoyed myself. I love the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Sandra Kate Burke. I'm from Hawaii, and I moved out to Los Angeles to pursue acting, and it's going good. I play Rena. I think that Rena is like any other typical high school girl who's trying her best to fit in with the cool crowd, but she can't fully commit. So she struggles with her and her friend Laura, because Laura's kind of going off the deep end.
You step right into your character. You seem like a real high school best friend.
Well, thank you. A lot of people say that I play young really well, and I'm like, I am young, but I'm not that young. But it's cool to hear that I can still go right back into it.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
What should they expect to see if they come see the piece? A conversation starter, I think. I think that it's a very interesting play, and it's kind of unique in that there's not a lot of pieces that are written like this piece is.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was very dramatic, but also it was about philosophical. It was poetic. It was nihilistic. It was very relevant.
And that is true. It's very relevant, and it also it goes into a lot of topics that people aren't usually comfortable talking about. So again, I think it's very much a conversation starter for people to realize that these characters are real people, and there are people like this out there every day, and maybe not to judge them, but to just realize that things just happen to people, and we should recognize that and accept it and try to help.
Okay. Once again, I really enjoyed myself, and I really enjoyed your performance tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Have a good night.
The Gary Plays will be playing at Atwater Village Theater from May 4th to June 4th. For more information, go to www.openfist.org.